Okay, we're here because the telltale purple balloons. See more balloons, which guide us the way to Yahoo's annual meeting. So this is the Yahoo restrooms, the official Yahoo corporate annual meeting restrooms. And here are some signs. Yahoo, all the purple. I can't say purple's my favorite color, but Yahoo does a good job with purple.
Vyomesh Joshi, Arthur Kern, Robert Kotick, Edward Cozell, and Gary Wilson. Is there a second? A motion to nominate those persons.
Okay, ready. This is John Harrington, who's an investor in Yahoo, who had a proposal about creating a human rights board at Yahoo, and it was defeated. John, tell me why you did this.
Well, I've been working for probably 35 years as a socially responsible investment advisor and managing money for both institutions and individuals who want their money managed to respect human rights and to advocate for social responsibility. So I felt that Yahoo's complicity in violating human rights in China required that a bylaw amendment be introduced to authorize the board to create a committee on human rights.
So what do you want to do now? What are you going to do now that your proposal,
Well,
not surprisingly, has been defeated?
Not surprisingly.
Yeah.
With this proposal, because it got over 3%, I'll probably be reintroducing it next year.
And what should Yahoo do in the interim, from your perspective?
Well, we'll see. I mean, they didn't want to talk to me when I introduced it, and hopefully in the future they'll be willing to discuss creating a board committee, because it seems like they like to talk a lot and talk about voluntary codes of conduct, which are unenforceable. But
Right.
what I tried to do is give them an option to actually kick it up to the board level as part of their fiduciary duty.
Great. Thank you, John. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay, we're here with a very tall Eric Jackson, who's a shareholder activist at the Yahoo annual meeting. Eric, how you doing?
Hey, good, Kara.
Good, good. So what did you think? You asked a good question about performance and strategy, or lack thereof, and what they're going to do to get out of the number 2 position.
Right.
So how do you think it went?
Well, the question I had and still have is some more beef on exactly how they are going to be successful as they say they will be. I thought that it's still at a level of generality, where as a shareholder you're wondering exactly how they're going to pull it off.
What do you think they should do? Let's put you in the Semmel seat.
Well, I think first off, it's a cultural fix. This is not a quick solution, and it's not a matter of selling off a division. I think there's a cultural problem within the company. I think that there's too much drift. There's too much bloat, from what I hear from some current and ex-Yahoo employees. I think they've been trying to pare that back, especially the senior levels, but I think there's more work to do. I think they have to drive responsibility and accountability further down within the organization. Too many ideas are being quashed at a lower level that never get to see the light of day.
Now, you've been recommending the ouster of Terry Semmel, correct?
Yeah.
So, do you think that will fix things? I mean, that's always the quick fix, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but you have to say where do you begin? How do you make a cultural change from within?
Right.
And it's pretty difficult when you have the people in place that have been following the strategy the same way for 5 years, and so fresh eyes, fresh perspective. There's always a risk of bringing in somebody from the outside, and that's why a lot of companies are better off looking from within.
Do you see anybody from within, or do you have a candidate? Or
I think there's a lot of great talent within the organization, and I think there are able people that could step up. I don't think it's one single person.
Right.
And there are people inside that know them much better than I do. So yeah, I think that the company is blessed by having some great internal talent.
Now, you had a little back and forth with Terry about we're number 2 kind of thing. He did actually say that it was a good position to be in, being number 2 rather than the distant third.
Sure.
And you sort of took task to that.
Well, I just wanted him to state that clearly. I don't think he or Sue Decker or anyone publicly has ever acknowledged that in those uncertain terms. She said that, and then she sort of backed away from it several months ago. So as a user or shareholder, you're kind of left wondering, well, did she mean it or not? And if so, what are the implications of that? So I was simply wanting to hear for sure that that in fact is the strategy. And if that's just one piece of the puzzle, that's fine, so be it. But let's acknowledge it. And
do you think they should be focusing so much on search, given how strong Google is as a competitor?
Well, I think they have to look at what they have, and they're fortunate to be in the number 2 position, so they have to maximize the resources.
Think they can beat Google?
Internally, but I have my doubts. I have concerns about the OneSearch mobile search engine. I've tried it, and even though I'm a shareholder and user, I frankly don't find that the quality of the results are as good as what I can get
Now, you
using
did
Google.
express great love for Yahoo. I don't mean love like you want to date it, but you did express, that you love the company and you
Right.
thought it was a great company.
Yeah, I'm committed.
Right.
I wouldn't be involved. I wouldn't have gone to the effort of trying to rally support for people wanting to speak out and voice some constructive comments about how to make the company better if I didn't think that there was something worth saving, if I didn't think that there was some assets here that were waiting to be unlocked. The brand that the company has, the traffic that it gets day after day for the key properties and from some of the newer properties, it's phenomenal. And I can't tell you how many former Yahoo employees have contacted me in the last few weeks and said, if only the company could get out from in front of itself,
Right.
and could really do a more effective job of taking advantage of what's here. I think, frankly, that if we dig in and we do the hard work, there are going to be much better returns in the next 5 years from being an investor in this company than in Google.
Great. Thank you so much, Eric.
Okay, thanks.
Bye. So I was going to do this dramatic Yahoo balloons flying off into the stratosphere to represent the rising fortunes of Yahoo, but I realized that would be bad for the environment. The annual meeting here in Santa Clara went pretty well for Yahoo and for Terry Semmel. Good questions, pretty calm, nothing much happened. It's a very small amount of shareholder dissent. And we'll just have to see, as he promised, where Yahoo was going to be going in the next year, which he predicted would be up, and we'll just have to see about that. And where Yahoo is going is an unknown, just perhaps as these balloons, but we know what actually is going to happen to them eventually.